Live, and you're recording, Bob?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Good morning to everyone online. I'm Janelle McCoy with the Mid-Atlantic Geospatial Users Group, and I'd like to welcome you to the webinar entitled Expansion of SiteOps.com to include road and bridge conceptual design. Thank you for being with us today. Just some short announcements before we get started. This webinar is made possible by JMT Technology Group, a progressive geospatial and information technology services provider specializing in transportation application solutions. We thank JMT for the use of their WebEx account. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and will be available at the magtug.wordpress.com website shortly after today's live broadcast. Please visit our website for more Mid-Atlantic geospatial transportation goodness and to register for upcoming events like the Comparing Tools for Managing Infrastructure Symposium being held on Thursday, September 15th in Newark, Delaware, and co-sponsored by the Center for Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation at University of Delaware and the Delaware T2 Center. We ask you to participate in today's webinar by typing questions that spring to mind throughout the webinar into the Q&A box on the bottom right of the WebEx window. I or my co-host, Bob Poliska, will read back your questions at the end of the webinar so that everyone has the opportunity to hear the answers from our presenter. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, J.P. Gauthier, Senior Application Engineer with Bentley Systems. JP has over 30 years experience in transportation engineering, CAD and BIM systems, and hails from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Bentley is a software development company that supports the professional needs of those responsible for creating and managing the world's infrastructure. JP will be walking us through Bentley's OpenRoads ConceptStation for roadway and bridge design options, allowing us to use real-world data and cost analysis to improve project results. JP, the virtual floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for that great introduction. I'm JP Gauthier. Today we're going to talk about ConceptStation. So the agenda here is going to be rather brief. We're going to give you an overview of OpenRoads ConceptStation, try and do a good little demo for you guys, and field some questions at the end. So I like to keep this very light, interactive. Feel free to enter questions in the chat window, and if you have some ideas on what you want to see with ConceptStation, just fire something in the chat window. Maybe I can do it while I'm in demo mode. So I like to call ConceptStation, what I like to say is Minecraft for civil. It is that. It's a video game kind of front end that gives you that complete freedom of design for fully conceptualized designs for roadway infrastructure and highway and bridges. What this tool is not is a detailed design software. So this is you guys kicking back in the boardroom with a project to do a highway expansion, road expansion, that kind of project, some roadway infrastructure, where you have to go up and generate a couple of options, what we call optioneering, and come up with some proposals and get some cost estimates out there quickly, and then have a really kind of high-end, great little video that does drive-throughs and different things like that. So that's what this thing is, and it's fun, it's interactive. It is Minecraft for civil. So it's very much innovation and inspiring. You sit back and you want to design roadways, bridges. It's easy to use. It's relatively intuitive. It allows you to do great prototyping. As you can see here, it allows you to come in and leverage some of the vertical information, input some PIs, and when you see the demo in a few minutes, it's that easy to work with. that gives you some great quantity estimates, because, like I said, it's all template driven. So you're taking templates and you're basically just tracing on top of existing terrain that we import in from USGS, and then that information is calculated on the fly. So you can generate quick little quantities and then send it off to an Excel sheet. It's a great little tool for that. So what that does is gives you better communication amongst your project stakeholders. So, you know, picture that you've got you have to put into the design of an area that's got some environmental sensitive areas, or you've got some areas that you want to try and avoid, and you've got a relatively tight budget, or you're working on a P3 project where you have to produce several little options to find the best alignment and understand what's the best way to do things. This tool gives you that ability to quickly conceptualize your design, come up with some information, and communicate back to the stakeholders. So what do we do here? We assemble context data. So we can import files from terrain models if you have them, raster files, images. We can even bring in Esri shape files and GIS information from OpenStreetMap. So if we have a shape file that contains data of parcel costing or environmental sensitive areas, this will give you the ability to layer that on top of your design quickly, look at those areas to avoid, or when you're drawing through that, you can also have it applied to your costing formula to come back and say, well, if you run your road through this parcel of land, it's going to cost you this much more versus the other way. So it gives you that kind of feedback as well. So, we can bring in DGN files. We have a great tool for bringing in this Reality Mesh 3DMX files from Bentley Context Capture. So picture this. You go out there and you get a drone, or you take some site photographs or some aerial photographs or some information. You can generate what we call a Reality Mesh with our Context Capture software, and then bring that in and use that to help you design in full 3D. So how do we get information in? Well, we utilize USGS site and OpenStreetMaps to be able to bring in terrain and images, right? And roads and bridges and hydro and buildings, okay? So it's sort of like Google Maps, right? Where you can gather information quickly, pick out an area, and go from there. So we can also go in and place roads by templates, as you see here. You can follow what we call our AASHTO standards that are already in place. There's roughly about 300 templates available to you guys with this product, and it uses best fit vertically. But again, you can alter that vertical alignment or geometry as you move along. And then so it puts in super, and then you can name roads and apply asset information as well into this program. So editing is the easiest thing in the world. You simply select the corridor that you draw in, and you can modify interactively the radiuses, or you can key in hard-coded measurements at all. And the key thing is here, you can work in Imperial, and with 2 clicks of a mouse button, you can switch back into metric if you need that. If you need to be able to generate metric values for a client. As well as we give the ability to bring in great lane markings, so you can customize those the way you want. Put in, different styles of lane markings. You can have, if you're doing a bus rapid transit scenario through a city center, where you've got to draw in a certain type of bus rapid transit line that you're doing, and you want to know how that's going to impact various areas and how it's going to look in the video, you can do that. So you can create like a bus rapid transit lane marking. We have the ability to do automatic intersections, so very easily, quickly generate quick intersections on the fly, right? And edit the taper lengths and modify the radiuses on the fly as well. Very simple tool to do that. So I'll be showing this in a demo in a few seconds. As well as we have the ability to generate these great ramps, so we can place ramps easily between one alignment and the other alignment. and generate the radiuses, generate the full 3D ramp model, and sort of mesh them together. So it brings in taper lengths, it changes the pavement markings for the ramp, it adds in the dotted lines, and then as well, you can edit these things as well if you want. It's very simple to work with. Now here about bridges. A lot of people, you know, when we have to bring in bridges for complicated designs, when we have clover leaves and we have multiple overpass and underpasses, this product can do that very easily. You can easily just, by just simply, you know, dragging and placing a bridge, using a bridge template that you can either create yourself, use what we have, or modify what we have to suit your needs, okay? So these are some of the examples here where we give you a template-based bridge model to be able to generate over a corridor. And then you can edit the bridges. You can simply, you know, edit the piers. You can edit the spans. You can edit the girders that are in there. You can edit the type that you have in there as well as. Or if you want, create a completely different template and then just say, modify and change that from this template type to this bridge type, and it'll do that on the fly for you. So it's very, very easy to work with. As well as you can place city furniture, place guardrails, bus shelters, fences, all along the corridor by just simply clicking in one end and just dragging along. And these are all 3D elements that have light characteristics, has as-built information to there that you can use for costing and things like that. That is, you know, it's all packaged in each city furniture. And the cool thing is that you can import this stuff in from 3D Warehouse if you want as well by just bringing it in as a DGN. So it's very simple to place street lights and guardrail and various street furniture. Roadway templates. We have over 300 typical cross sections that you can create your own. It's very simple to create your own. So you can place either different types of lanes, different types of end conditions you want with that. It's really, really simple to use and, you know, very, very intuitive to generate and use the 300 cross sections that are available or create your own and manage them and create standards. You can create a whole bunch of your templates, you know, and save them in a file and use that file as a seed file and import them into any other type of project you're using. And they have already locked down the standards and the quantities that you set up for this. So the same thing with bridge templates, right? Again, being able to create new ones, they're very easy component-based creation. They follow an AASHTO standard, managing them, deleting them. It's all very, very quick and easy for you to learn, get up to speed, and do this. You don't need to be a bridge engineer to do this, although it would help sometimes to make sure you've got your design correct. So again, we talked about estimating quantities. So again, quick quantities that comes off. You can generate a quantities report. You can go in and fine-tune the unit costs of each of these. You can, again, switching back from metric to imperial is easy by changing the settings, and we'll go through that in a second. So once you've done that, again, you can set up like a seed standard file that you can use again and again for similar projects. And digitalization. Well, we use the power of Lumen RT with this product. So you can now go, once you've done your design, you've kind of locked it in, you figured out this is what I want it to work with, but now I want to produce a high-resolution video for my stakeholders to show them the design intent, to show them what it's going to look like, the finished product. Well, you can go in and with one click, go into our Visualize, click on open it up in Lumen, add your trucks, add your traffic, add your pedestrians, add your vegetation, your water, your landscape, all that stuff in rich 3D elements that change with wind conditions and weather and solar situations, and create, you know, high resolution videos or interactive live cube that you can provide to your stakeholders and project owners for them to see your design intent and, you know, and communicate to them what the finished product will look like. So, other things that's what's great with this is it's seamless interoperability with our OpenRoads and civil products, okay? So what you can do is you can export right into OpenRoads or Microstation, okay? You can export DGN. It'll export a TIN file, a DTM. It'll create an ALG, an IRD, an ITL, or RWK file, and bring in that alignment in that 3D model right into OpenRoads or Microstation for you to go out and generate and use for your final designs, to do that plans production, to do your cut sections and things like that, and fine tune it and take it to the next level. So it's basically going from complete conceptual and right in, and then bringing it into OpenRoads, and then being able to generate the final design, tweak it, make sure that apply the rules process to it, and then generate your plan production from there. So what I'd like to do now is to dive right into the product. So I'm going to open up ConceptStation. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new file. And just give me a second. And what it does is it remembers the last location. So I'm going to create a data set in the Philadelphia area. And let's see, we're going to call this, let's see here, it's, I do MAGTUG, and we're going to put it in this location. The seed file we're going to use is the system seed file. But if you had another design or another file with all your templates and your quantity standards, you could just simply use that as your seed and leverage all that information that you've captured before. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pick an area on the map. So this is very much, you know, kind of Google Maps kind of style here. And I'm just going to grab an area of the city center down in Philadelphia and just kind of pick an interactive location. And the next thing what I'm going to do, well, let's see, I'm going to edit that a little bit. So let me change that a bit here. I'm going to grab this and just kind of move that around. So you can edit this area as well if you need to. And let's save that off. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose to use the geo-coordination services that comes with ConceptStation. And it's gone out now, and it's going to ask me what kind of information do I want to grab. I want to grab some terrain, I want to grab some imagery. I could grab some roadways and building information from OpenStreet if I wanted to, but for this case, I'm just going to, you know, I want to just draw on a roads system. Or actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to import an alignment that was already done in OpenRoads in here for me as a starting point. So I'll select next, and now what it's doing, it's going out to and connecting, contacting the geo-coordinate services. It's going out to USGS. It's coming back and finding me two types of classes here, or some files. So I could change that and go to a higher resolution imagery if I wanted to. I could go to a higher level, more detailed level terrain if I want to. For this example, we're going to do this. And if you look at the details, it'll tell you the exact file where it's pulling it from. It's pulling it in from USGS location. So that's easy to do. I'm going to say, let's import this and download. So what it's doing now, it's going out, it's pulling the data from the website, it's importing it now, and it should be done in a second. As you can see here, it's checked off, and all have imported successfully. So let's hit done, and look what it brings in. So this is, you know, you can't look at it right now, but this is terrain. So it does have relief to it. As you can see here, it's brought in some valleys, and see the water is kind of down there. So let's go to my top view again, sort of center myself a bit. And what I want to do is I want to import an alignment right now in here that was done for me in Inroads. So I'm going to select my import. I'll select other, add data, and let's see here, bring in the alignment, the Philly alignment. Let's open that up, and we'll select next. I can bring in a DGN as well if I wanted to, or any other type of file. So let's say done. And so what it's done now, it's just brought in this alignment over the river. And so if I select this alignment, it's going to give me the vertical, as you can see through here. It tells me there's a road that it joins with. It also gives me some asset information about the templates that it's used by default, which is a urban arterial proposed R1-1 template. So what I want to do is I want to change that template to something else. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to change the template, but it's not the ones I want. There's another template that was done earlier by my colleague for Philadelphia. So you know what? It's not there right now. So let me try and see if I can import that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my templates, and again, what I can do is I can import a template, and I'm going to take it from right here, from this file here that was done, and there it goes now. So now I've got my Philly template, I've got my my bridge, I've got my 6-lane road that was done. If I wanted to edit this template, I could edit the template right now, showing the end conditions and showing what it looks like and showing what it looks like in 3D view. So I can add barriers, buffers. I can add various components to this if I wanted to. I can add some curbs. I can add, if I wanted some walls, I can add that information for our bridges. All these kind of things I could just simply click and add to this template to expand it. If I wanted to change the material from asphalt to concrete, gravel, or grass, I could. The way you want. I could change the slope as well. All these things I can create on my own here just using our template editor. But for this purposes, we're just going to leave it as is. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my, my view. I'm going to select this. I'm going to change it to a 2-lane road. It's done that. I'm going to select the other road here, and I'm going to change that to a 2-lane road as well. And this alignment here, select the alignment, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that as a 6-lane road there. So it's added my lane markings as you see here. If I kind of zoom in, it's got a best fit to the cut and fill the best way it could to my terrain. Looks looks pretty good. Go back to my view. So now what I want to do here is I want to add a ramp into here. So I'm going to select my ramp tool, and I'm not going to have my auxiliary lane on for this time. If I wanted, I could use a design radius if I had to here. So I'm going to select this road and this road, and that looks good. I'm going to put that ramp in right there. So it's drawn a ramp in there. And then I'm going to come down over to here, do the same thing. So I'm going to select the ramp tool. I'll select this as the primary road. Select this as secondary road, and then put in my ramp here. So it's gone through and it's changed the geometry for me and added those ramps in. Again, change the lane markings, change all the geometry for me on the fly. Okay. So the next thing here is, as you can see here in our demonstration, we need to put a bridge, right? Because it's obviously, not going to work, right? So let's go back to our top view, and let's add a bridge. So we'll go to our bridge section here. I'm going to change my templates to a 2-lane bridge. I could change it to be a cast-in-place box grader. I could place the cast-in-place slab. I can also put in a stem wall or wing walls if I wanted to. I could change my bridge supports here to a pile bent or a tapered cap. But I'm just going to leave it as so. If I want to put in a name here, I could put in, Philly Bridge. 1, and that's given an asset name. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it here. If I wanted to, I could hit Tab and type in a station that I wanted to start if I wanted to be exact. But for instance, I'm just going to eyeball it for now. And I'm just going to draw this bridge into about here and then stop. Okay, so let's see what it's done. Let's see here. Yeah, I zoom in. Oh, didn't do what I wanted to do. So let me undo. Give it a bridge. Try that again. I'll start it here. Change it to bridge 1. And we'll start from this here. And we're about there. There it goes. Let's put the bridge in for me. The next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the same thing on this alignment. So I'll put a bridge from here, and I'll carry it forward all the way about here. So as you can see, it's put in our bridges, it's added in our piers, it's put in our walls along our ramps. Oh, we have a problem here. We've got something that just doesn't look right. So what we can do is we can modify that easily. So what I can do is I can select this, and I can hide it. And if I select the here, I can basically move it. Let's go and we'll zoom right here a bit better. Let's hide this. Let's hide this alignment as well. So control this, move it out here a bit, and there we go. So adjust it out a bit. If you want to move the other one over, you can simply space them out a bit better. And we'll come back over here, we'll unhide all, and we can probably move this a bit more. Grab it. Yeah, a little bit over there. And we're just kind of, eyeballing things right now, but we could be a little more precise with our, change sort of our template and our bridge information here. So if I select this bridge, I could add more spans if I wanted to. If I wanted to change the type, I could. I could change the girder type anytime here. I can add more girders to it if I need to. I could change the name here, as I can call this one, bridge 2, and so forth. So relatively easily, we've added a bridge. We've pulled an alignment from OpenRoads and altered some of the files here. The next thing we want to do is, let's add some street furniture to this thing, add some lighting on here, right? So I'm going to quickly come over here and place furniture along, and I'm going to select some of the templates that you got here. I'm going to select street lights. I'm going to put in a 6-foot lamp single. I'm going to put them in every 50-foot intervals. And I'm going to do 270. And from there. So let's select my my point here and follow this alignment along here and stop it there. So it's added these lights, so now I can select these lights here. Oh, cancel that. Pull me out. Hang on. A little glitch. Give me 1 second. Get back into my file. Didn't like too many mouse clicks. Just give me 1 second. Open that up again. Let's go back in and try and grab these again. Click on those again. And move them over about here or further. Oh, too far. Let's put these in at 15 feet. There you go. So now we've added our lights in. Some of these lights don't look too good here, so we can Then remove them. Select that. Again. Try and grab these again. Move back. Offset. Offset again. It's over. It's over. 15 feet as well. Okay. See how that looks. Much better. Okay. So that's putting in some of the lights here now. And we can do the same on the other side as well. So let's hope our computer stays with us now. So go back, we'll put in some street lights there. Do the same one. We'll put it in at 90 degrees. Same thing, we'll do a 50-foot spacing. Okay. And zoom out a bit. We'll start here. Try and follow our alignment. Zoom in a bit more here. And add those in, and we'll select the command. Select those, select it again. Pick them up. We'll move it. There we go. Let's move it over 50 feet. Undo that. Grab them again. Again. Negative. This time. Okay. See how this is done over here again. Select these type that negative feet this side, and our light standards are now finally in place, as you can see. So drawing them in relatively easily, and being able to do some great stuff. So let's say we wanted to come in here, and let's fit this again. I'll zoom in, I'll go back to my top view. Over. And what we want to do here is let's extend this alignment out a bit more. Reduce that. Drag and move it over to about here. And let's insert a PI here. And move it over just a little bit. And let's raise up the vertical a bit. So we can move that up a bit. Move that up a bit above the terrain. And let's also bring in some of that context capture data. So we're going to attach that, because we've got some cool 3D files as well. So I'm going to go into my 3DMX file. And now I'm going to bring in some context capture data that we captured during the Pope visit. And it's kind of importing it now. So if you see here, if I zoom in, you can see it gives me a great way of designing and leveraging that power of the reality mesh with this tool is just outstanding. To be able to give you this information. So, having this in your design and doing, being able to create things easily and conceptually is one thing, but the next thing is being able to taking some other data that you can simply gather from aerial photography or from a drone or something like that for your project area, and then having that as built information and accurate information is vital for your design. So it's great to be able to leverage this. So if you didn't want to, you can turn that off as well. So if you select here, you just turn off the display, on or off. The other thing we want to do, let's see if I'll fit this in. Go back to my top view and zoom in here again. And let's see if I have any GIS data for here. So I can also sort of import that as well. So if I go to add data, look at my computer, let me see if I have any GIS data in here. I don't think I do for this one. No, I don't. So I'm going to look for that. I had some for another demo set, but as you can see here, these are the type of files you can import. You can import the shape files, ALG, this kind of information comes right in easily to the data. I'll go back to my conceptualized view for design. And let's say I want to modify this template. So I'm going to modify the road template. And I want to squeeze in a 4-lane road here, just for fun. We're going to put in a 4-lane road, let's say concrete median with sidewalks, and we're going to just kind of put it in here. Look what it does. See it? It does a merge, moves all the data back in again, very easily to do. So let's have some fun. Let's draw on another road. So we'll go in here and place a new road. We're going to place we'll put in a 4-lane road with we'll do the same one with a concrete median. And we're just going to sketch it in from here. And I'm just going to draw it in over to here. Put that road in. And as you can see, we'll select the vertical here, get the vertical. As you see, it kind of drops over the water here, follows the water line. So let's just kind of raise this up a bit, move some of this up, grab here, and raise the road a little higher. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this up a bit more. And again, you could, if you had want to be precise here with the radiuses, you can. As you can see, I'm going to bring it up to a bit more. It's still crazy. Let's just completely be whacked on our design. Probably none of this will ever work, but let's do it anyway. Just going to visualize that. So now we've got this, the intersection. Obviously, we're going to need to put a bridge here. So let's put a bridge in. It's going to be a 4-lane bridge. So we'll look for a 4-lane bridge with sidewalks. And we want to run it from about here. And let's run it right across here. So there's our bridge. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty good. Don't have any interferences this time. Looks pretty good. So that's our bridge we just put in. Again, if you wanted to modify this bridge again, we could just simply come in here to the options. If you wanted to, modify some of the spans, we could put in, make it maybe 6-span if we wanted to. Enter, and just modify the spans. Right now, added more. You could change this. Let's be kind of fun. This is now a 4-lane bridge. We could make it a 2-lane bridge, and it would do the same thing. It would modify the alignment. So in this case, let's leave it where it is. And you know what? I'm going to go through here, And the next thing I'm going to do is, so let me just see how much this is costing me so far. So let me come into our cost estimate and see what this whole project is coming in at right now. And here's our quantities. Well, this is coming in a fair bit of money. As you can see, there's some allowances. This is what the structural component is going to cost me of all my bridges I put in, some of the earthwork costs. These are some of the allowances. So I could easily export this out to an XLS file if I wanted to, add it to my concept training, and I'll just type in a MAGTUG file, and okay, let's try that again, it should work, and save. So if I come into that file, it's exported correctly. If I go back to my ConceptStation training, and I go into here, and there's the Excel file, and there's all the information, pavement, earthwork structure, all the costing. So you can now do what you want with this and add more information. So let's go back in and open up our report. And as you can see, everything's in great Imperial, but I've got a customer where I live in Canada, and they're really more interested in the metric. So let's go into my settings here, and let's change this to meters. And simple click of that, go back to my back page, conceptualize. Let's go to my costing. Let's run my costing numbers. And let's go and look at some of my quantity costs, detail. As you see now, they're all in metric as well, different rate. If I want to change this rate, I can. Anytime I want to change it, update the rate. Once I've set this, again, I can use this file as a seed file, as a standard for most of my current projects. So, all right. So what we've done here is we've shown you some great tools, and the next thing I want to kind of maybe drop in here, I'm getting kind of close here, and how are we doing for questions? How are we doing there for questions here? Have we got anything in the chat window? Okay, not much right now. Because it's coming up, I want to leave some time for questions from everybody if they want, but I'm going to just kind of go through, and so that's basically, you know, the ConceptStation. We can add some pavement mark. We can change our pavement markings if we wanted to. We can add street markings. We have a template of that as well. These are all the different street markings you can add. If we went into here and we wanted to look at linear furniture, we could add fences or guardrail along something. Now let's put in a noise barrier here. So let's just kind of walk it along here. We'll put in some noise barrier from here. Let's do it again. Put a noise barrier, and we'll put it right along here. Just put it in there. And let's see what that looks like. There's our noise barrier that just came in nicely. So we've got our noise barrier along there. Select it. Again, it gives you the information about it, and it'll be put in our costing as well. So, you know, very easily, within, you know, a short time we've done here, we've gone through and we've created some great little conceptual design in Philadelphia. I go back to my top view here again, and so let's put back on our great context capture file and see what my new road have done. If I've gone through any areas that are concerned, not really. Maybe a parking lot or so that I need to worry about, as well as, you know, this is just a really great tool to help you guys design conceptually, and then as we said before, let's go out and let's export this whole thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to export this. We'll create a new folder. Let's call it export. Okay. And we'll select that, and we're going to call this one MAGTUG. And we're going to export all those files. So let's go now and look. What it's created is created the alignment file for me. It's created a Microstation file. It's added in the terrain model as well. So now what I could do is I can basically open this up in Microstation or OpenRoads. I'll do that for you right now, and you should see all of our 3D information coming into Microstation. So there it is there. You know, it's even added some light, so we'll kind of do a little spin around here. So it's even added the bridge in there. It's added the light standards in here. So you can have the capabilities of just, you know, like I said, conceptually designing something and then moving it into Microstation and using it as a reference, or however you want to do, you can start working with your model from there. So you can export into Microstation, you can bring it into OpenRoads, and the next thing you can do, and what I'm going to do here is, because in the interest of time, I don't want to fire up Lumen right now because may take a little bit longer, is show you a video of what you can create with Lumen RT. So this is a video of the same kind of model that I used. I've added some trucks, some boats, added some water and some landscape, and generated this great video for you guys to be able to show your clients, show your owners, show your design intent, and just kind of panning through here right now, going through it. You know, again, I did this without putting in our context capture data. I could have added our context capture data to our buildings and streets as well, and put them in and really kind of bring it home for people. As you can see here, I've added a rail line there, so we do have a rail template that we can use and run sort of LRT for that. I'm driving up this ramp now in a car, giving you that viewpoint. Now I've done is I've changed it to a night scene. As you can see, my lights have lit up and my car lights have light up. So it gives you that great video to show your owners and your project stakeholders what your design intents are. So let me kind of go through here. So in a nutshell, be more proficient with prototyping, smarter takeoff, better communication, and so forth. So what I want to do now is open it up for questions. We've got about just a bit more than 10 minutes left, if that's okay, to look at the questions. So Bob and Janelle, if I can answer some questions from people.
Yeah, well, I guess people were just you know, watching in awe as you were going through this, so maybe they'll be typing now. But I do have some questions. If you have different source data in different projections, does the data come in and reproject on the fly into ConceptStation?
It will reproject on the fly into ConceptStation. So if you have a different, well, hang on, I should say that. I should be correct. I stand corrected. If you have data such as DGN data, you've got a OpenRoads model kind of thing, right? A DGN format that you want to import into that area. It does have to maintain the same coordinate structure. So you have to save you know, in ConceptStation, you can come in here, look at the information, and it'll tell you what the coordinate system is. And you do, for it to kind of jump on top of it, you do have to follow the same coordinate system. That's correct.
Okay. And so I guess I probably answered my own question too. So if you have data that has no projection whatsoever and you want to bring it in, you will have to do the projection before you bring it in?
Well, what you can do is you can create a new file, scratch file, with the projection, and then reference it in coincident world, and then save that, and then bring that scratch empty that file that you referenced the data into, and import that into ConceptStation. That'll work.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's good, because we have a lot of old stuff that doesn't have any projections at all, and I was thinking how difficult that would be to have to place it, but that makes sense. It's not like I don't do that already. So I hate that. So how about AutoCAD stuff from older systems too? Because we've got that.
Yeah, that's fine. You can, obviously you could have to bring them in and create them as a DGN file. So you go through the process of opening in a Microstation, using either your transseed data or your transseed file as a background, bringing it in, saving it as a DGN file, and then you're good to go. Again, if you want, you can create an empty file, or what you can do is you can export your ConceptStation. So let's say you create this empty file, you got this terrain, you've done a little bit of alignment. You can export this as a DGN and use that as your main file to reference in that old legacy data that you want to match into, and it'll assume the coordinate system that you brought in.
Very cool. Let's see. There was another line of questioning I also had. I can't remember what it was now. I'm still not seeing anybody typing in, and so let me see if I can remember what else it was.
And people will certainly have the opportunity to follow up afterwards, JP. We're going to post this on the MAGTUG website, so once they view it, they'll certainly have the opportunity to contact you directly.
Yeah, I think this is just a great little tool to go from, like I said, you're sitting in a boardroom or you've got a project kickoff meeting, and you're bouncing some ideas and concepts, and be able to, if you have something already pre-done from an existing contract that you need to tag onto, you can bring that in as a base or reference. Like, you don't have to grab everything from the GeoSurvey site. You can actually import your own DTM and your own terrain information alignment to start you off, and then go from, continue on from there and work that way. So it's a great tool to start with. And the integration with OpenRoads is just going to get stronger and stronger as we move along, because this program, I should say, has gone through about 3 different upgrades in the last 4 months. So their development team is really, really excited about this product, and they're constantly implementing more and more features and adding more features. I will let you know that there is a rail version, an open rail version of ConceptStation due to come out next year, and we're sort of prototyping it now. So that'll have all the great track alignments and LRT alignments that you can use, and templates, and you can kind of mix and match those as well. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
I actually did remember what it was. Can ConceptStation stand alone as well? I mean, it obviously is better if it's integrated with other things like OpenRoads and the suite. But if, say, a planning department wanted to use it, could they use it as a completely standalone application?
Yeah, everything you've seen here, this whole product is I'm running. I'm basically using the hotel Wi-Fi. You do need to have connection to the internet to get the information in, the background information. But once you've got this file here, this DGN file, this little DGN DB file, you can open it as well. So just an example of that. I've opened this file up here now in ConceptStation. I could be disconnected as well, but yes, it does stand alone. And this is just an example of the rail template that we've got here as well, and just giving you guys an example of that. And this is an LRT project in Toronto going on right now that I've kind of, playing with some modeling and some concepts for. So that's sort of what you're going to see, coming up.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, JP Gauthier, for being our presenter, and thanks for Bentley Systems for sponsoring our webinar today.
Yeah, no problem. If anybody has any questions or they want to have a more personal demonstration of this, by all means, you can contact me at jp.gauthier@bentley.com. I'd be more than happy to, do a more informal presentation to somebody if they're interested in it. By the way, this product is available for free trial. You can go on to the Bentley's website and download an actual full version of this product for you to try out and play with for the next month or so. So it is available now as a free trial.
Wow. That's nice. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed today's webinar and will join us on Tuesday, October 4th for our next webinar installment entitled Web-Based Application in Support of Land Use Planning and Management for a Transportation Agency. Thank you all and have a geospatial day.
All right.
Thanks, Janelle.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.